Hello, on behalf of the packages team, I'm just going to kick us off. And yes, we do on this call, I believe, have Kevin, who is second from the left at the back, very smiley and happy. We have myself. Nick is on the phone, in case you can't see, his face is on my mobile phone. And then we have Richard, who talk about baptism of fire, wasn't really known to the Umbraco community at all. And when the team was set up last November, which is only 6 months ago, he put his hand up like he is there and joined and has fast forwarded his way into the community, if you ask me, and it's excellent to be getting to know him, and he will be telling us more about himself in a minute. And finally, on the right, we have Jesper, our wonderful HQ steward, I think we're meant to call them. So this is the Umbraco package team. What have we been up to? Now there's a question. Since November, we've been working on the packages part of which has been challenging. If anyone has ever looked at the source code of you will know that it's quite a challenge. We have released a CLI tool, Unpack, and we have some goals, dreams, and plans. So would one of the other team like to step in? Jesper, would you like to say some words? Or should we start with Richard, maybe, with what he wants to say?
Okay. Hi, everybody. As Lottie said, not a lot of people know who I am. My name's Richard Ockerby, and we've been using Umbraco at work for about 3 years. I've been dipping in and out of the community scene, and then we got an email through asking if anybody would like to sign up for the packages team. So I thought that'd be a nice way to get back involved in Umbraco and see what we could do with it. That's kind of my backstory to how we got into it. That's all I want to say about myself, really.
So, Richard,
specific questions about us, then that's kind of where I'm at.
Richard, what was your first Umbraco event that you went to?
I've not actually been to any Umbraco events. The first Umbraco thing that I went to was when I got invited down to HQ to have the meeting with Kim and talk about the teams that we were setting up. So that was quite the experience around that was really nice. I mean, I know that it goes around online, and you guys know fine well about everything, but the whole thing about the community and everybody is just really friendly. It's not just a selling tag; it is literally the code that these guys live by. It's great. I love the community. I love the apps. It's fantastic. But I was really looking forward to Code Garden, but unfortunately, yeah, Code Patch is a close second, though. Thanks.
I don't think, has the packages team ever all been in the same place at the same time yet? I don't think we've managed it, have we?
No.
Not yet.
Something to look forward to. Kevin, do you want to say a few words?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just going to cough. It's just the perfect timing.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. There you go. It's fine. I'm not ill. I've just had a cough since the beginning of time. I'm Kevin Jump. I basically have an addiction to packages. I just keep writing them. I can't help myself. So I float around on the packages team, and I really want to help people make easier to make packages because it's such a fun thing to do. I do it all the time. So I sort of, I've been tinkering around with code and sitting in the background and not doing presentations. That's what I do. But there you go. That's me.
Thank you. Jesper, as our dear leader, steward thing.
Well, so I was asked to start up a new community team back in October, and I had never tried to create or even install a package at that point. So it was a bit of a crazy experience for me. I had a crash course from Shannon, one of the or maybe the most experienced Umbraco developer at HQ. I don't know. He's at least one of them. And he built a lot of the packages sections in Umbraco itself. So he gave me a really good introduction, and it was really exciting. And I said, yes, let's do it. Let's make this better, because in his demo, he showed me all the things that could be improved. So there was a lot to do. I was lucky enough to have a bunch of people apply to be part of this packages team. And we got a really strong team going, I think. And we've just tried to bit by bit improve things along the way. We started out with some documentation. I think you skipped that, Lottie. That didn't used to be any documentation about packages really, but now there's quite a bit, and you can find it on our. I can throw a link in a little bit. And then we went on to some hour improvements, and then this Umbraco tool.
Sorry, Jesper, yes, I did forget, because you made us start with documentation rather than wanting to try and fix the things. It was, no, let's start with documenting what we have, and then let's make incremental improvements, because you have to be realistic with community involvement, and sometimes people have some spare time, and then sometimes the world goes crazy and everyone has better things to do than doing in the evening work on an open source event. So yes, we did start with documentation, and that's been helpful, and then improving our, and then the CLI tool that we've done a few demos. We've done a few demos of, so I don't think we've got one prepared for now, have we, Jesper? Jesper's shaking his head. But the idea is that you can integrate your build pipelines. So if you release packages, we've had, because we get feedback of, I just can't be bothered to release it to our, is in the summary what some people have said, because they have a build pipeline which will deploy to NuGet. So releases are easy to do. And the pain has always been that you then manually have to update it to our. And I discovered this when the wonderful 10 times MVP Lee Kelleher set up a little mentoring project last year. Put a call out on Twitter that myself, Emma, and Mike Macy responded to, and joined him in building a package for V8. And that was my first exposure to how much pain all you package developers have to go through in order to get things done. And it just seemed like it really needed some love and attention from the HQ. And so when the call out for this team was put together, it's like, well, I know that it's not an obvious thing to how to get started. So if I can help improve that, and the collaboration behind packages as well, and trying to avoid duplication, that's what I'm really interested in seeing, if we can work on that, help people who've got ideas and they don't know how to move forward, or work out that you've got 3 people who are working on the same thing. Can we have one thing that benefits from 3 people working together rather than 3 separate things? So these are the things that I'm excited to see where we can get to, and of course continuing to make improvements to the our package experience as well, because the discoverability of packages is a known issue. I think if you follow the right people on Twitter, you might know all the latest packages and what to use, but it turns out sometimes people build a package because they didn't realize there was one already there that did what they were looking for, which is a problem. So we have plenty to keep us busy, and it's actually really fun. Don't tell Jesper, because I know he's listening, but it's a fun thing to be part of. So I'm very, very grateful to be part of it. What else do we need to say, Jesper?
I'm not sure. We have some plans, I guess, for the future. We will continue to work on our. The next big thing on our will be the create a package page, where you put in all the information and you upload files and so on. It's very outdated right now, so that's something we want to look into. We're also currently working on creating a GitHub repo. You can set up a GitHub repo as a template, which means instead of people forking it, they can just click make a copy, and then they get a complete copy of it to start from. So it's sort of like a scaffolding repo for packages, and then we want to have some good examples of priority editors, sections, dashboards, normal things that a lot of packages will have to use. And then we can also include a GitHub action that automatically deploys to our, if you just put in an API key somewhere as a secret. stuff like that, to make it a lot easier to just start a new thing and everything is set up for you.
There is also an RFC out there, isn't there? Do you know what the status of that is, Jesper? The RFC is about the package format. This long, contentious discussion as to why the Umbraco packages have a different format to NuGet packages, and that's why you have to prepare things in 2 different ways. So there's an RFC about the package format in Umbraco.
Yeah, so we put out an RFC a couple of months ago about sort of trying to combine the zip format that we use in Umbraco packages and then NuGet format, and possibly moving the Umbraco format just completely into NuGet to be able to install a NuGet package from the back office and so on. We've had a lot of great feedback on it, and I think 2 weeks from now we're planning on running through it. We need to book out a few people who are not super available, so it's a bit of a slow process, but there will be a revision of the RFC soon-ish, where we then sort of iterate on the plans.
So do you think that we're at the stage that we've had enough community input there, and it's now time to let the HQ think about?
Yes, so we got a lot of input. Now we need to make a few decisions and then get new input on like a more scoped version of this.
We need to do a CanCon code patch clap and then we can stop recording.
We've done